Good afternoon, y'all, and welcome back to Cold Texas and Apron Strings. This weather on the Gulf Coast the last couple of weeks has just been unusual. And it's not freezing today, but it's damp. And that makes it cold and makes it make your bones crack and hurt. If you're full of wisdom, that means you're getting older. So the cold weather calls for soup. And I'm going to make and share with y'all a wonderful recipe today for an easy but very rich potato soup. It's not going to take long to make it, so you can wait till the last minute or after church come home and whoop up something for some company that's coming over. It's going to be very easy. Now, y'all know I like most stuff made from scratch, homemade. Make it myself, but this soup has some canned soup in it, but it also has some half and half and butter. Going to make it rich and good. So let's get on over here to the butcher block where we can see what's going on. We're going to get our soup in the pot and get it heating up, because I got two grandsons that's hungry and they're wanting something to eat at Nana's house. And you know what? I like to keep that pot hot and something good in it, keep those kids coming around. So y'all get on over here and we'll see what we can get going. I'm going to be using my stove. I think it's a 7-quart pot. I just like the good heavy cast iron enamel because it holds its heat. I got a 1-inch wellness mat there that makes it feel good to stand up on this wood floor. But sometimes it makes part of my head come off, so I'm going to try to move over here to the side where I won't be standing on it right now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open our Campbell's, and you need Campbell's brand cream of potato soup, and you need 4 cans of that. That's why this is quick and easy. Now, I've done a recipe where we used hash browns, and that recipe's good, but let me tell you what, you'll never know that this has some canned soup in it. It's rich and it's yummy, and there's not any left. People's gonna love it. What y'all been doing since the first of the year? We hadn't talked a whole lot, and I haven't been doing a whole lot. We're also going to need some cream of mushroom soup. Now, you know how to measure it if you make your own, and you could very well use your own cream of mushroom in here. That's one thing that I buy that I don't make myself, is the cream of soup. Okay, so I'm going to get every bit of my potato soup out, cream of potato, and get it in the pot. I've been making a few aprons. Some of y'all have watched some of the older videos and emailed me and ordered aprons, and that just tickles me to death. I'm planning real soon to show you what fabrics I have. I've been trying to find some new stuff that I thought would be good, but I'm going to tell you, the Cannon apron is one of my best sellers, and I was able to get a couple of more bolts of that fabric, so I'm going to be showing you that again, because canning season is starting up, and everybody needs an apron to protect their clothes with when they start canning. So you're going to need 4 cream of potato and 2 cream of mushroom. And then we're going to use 1 can of whole kernel corn, and we're going to drain it. We don't want the juice in there, so I'm going to step over to the sink and drain it right quick. And I'm just going to stir this a little bit. We're going to put this on a low fire and let it get warm. And at the same time, we're going to let it be melting our butter. We need 1.5 sticks of butter. Butter makes everything better. So we'll get our butter in there. And if you cut it up in smaller pieces, it'll melt quicker. So here goes our one stick. And we're going to add some more stuff here in a minute, but I'm going to let this get warm and then we'll add our other ingredients. I just want it on a medium low because I don't want it to burn, but I want my butter to melt and get it good and hot in here. Okay. I'm going to measure 2 cups of half and half and get that ready. And we may have to add a little bit more. Well, goodness sakes. We'll see if it's too thick. It's going to be rich, I know that. And I also got out 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. And I don't have them at room temperature, so I'm going to cut them in little pieces to where they'll melt quicker in there in a little bit too. They're just going to be rich and good. And we got to cut up some green onions. Just the green part is what we need. And I've got them in the ice box too. Okay, we need to cut up about a half a cup of green onion blades. It won't hurt if it's a little extra. And we're going to saute them in about a tablespoon of butter just to soften them a little bit. This is the tops off of one bunch of green onions, so that I washed and patted dry. We'll just see. Guesstimate here how much we've that's about a half a cup heaped up a little bit, so that'll be great. Let me stir our soup a little bit. The butter's almost all melted. Another trick when you're doing this is if you want it to seem a little bit more like it's homemade, you can get you a can of whole little potatoes and quarter them and put them in it. And that gives you bigger hunks of potato in your potato soup. Because one of the recipes I make, I bake the potatoes and part of them I mash and part of them I cut in cubes. And that'll give the same effect. Another thing, if you're in a hurry and you need some potato salad and you want to make it out of instant potatoes, make them a little thicker and open you up a can of those little potatoes and quarter them up, and you'll have pieces of potato in your instant potato salad and nobody will ever know the difference. My cousin who had a cafe told me about that. So that's something to remember. So I'm going to get the fire under my butter here and let it start melting where I can put my onions in there and get them ready. I could have done them in the pot first, but I didn't. Okay, now that I've got my butter melted, I'm going to add 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. Let me get my little spatula here and see if I can get all of it up. That's probably another tablespoon of cream cheese I would have wasted. Okay, I'm going to just let that heat. I'm going to let that heat along with everything else. Then we'll take care of our green onions, and then we're going to pour our half and half in and simmer it a little bit. It'll be ready to eat. I got the green onions sauteing along in that good old butter. And this is starting to get hot, because see how it's popping? If you're not careful, it'll pop out on you like gravy. So I'm stirring it real often. And when these get a little bit, just a little bit tender, I'm going to add them to the soup, and then I'm going to add my half and half and let it simmer down, and it'll be ready to eat. Now my bunch will probably put some cheddar cheese on the top of theirs, and I may get some bacon bits out. If I use bacon bits, I like to heat them a little bit in a dry skillet that's non-stick, and it makes them render some more of the fat out of them, and they're not so limp and fat. But we'll see. But right now, I'm just going to put the green onion blades in there and let it all mix together and let the flavors blend. I might sneak a little onion and garlic powder in it, reckon. That ought to be good. But anyway, here we go. I'll get it all finished here in a minute. Okay, my onions are pretty well tender, and I'm going to get them into the soup mixture. My cream cheese is almost melted. And I'll just keep stirring it till it melts. I got a few hunks left in it. Now you can add more onions if you wanted to. I just want to be sure all the big pieces of the cream cheese have melted down good. I'm going to go ahead and stir in my half and half because it's got a heat, and the cream cheese will melt more as it heats with the half and half. It's just good to have something. I nearly always have. Now I don't always have cream of potato soup because I make it homemade. But it's good to have things on hand if you have unexpected company. You can fix a meal right quick. So grab your 4 cans of cream of potato soup and some cream of mushroom soup. Be sure you got you some cream cheese and butter. And if you don't have half and half, you can use whole milk or you can use evaporated milk. It still tastes good. The best price to get your half and half and whipping cream, if you have an Aldi, is Aldi's. They have the best prices. I think I just heard a car door, which means my another grandson just drove up. He's going to be ready for this soup. He better hurry up and get ready. Alright, I'll bring y'all back when it's all finished and we start plating it up. Okay, I've got the soup finished and I'm fixing to get some in a bowl, and I'll show y'all the plated up soup. Here's the soup plated up and ready to serve. I've got it in these neat little bowls that have a place for your soup and then a place for your crackers or cornbread. So we will have potato soup and crackers here in a little bit. Okay y'all, now you have another good soup recipe for this cold weather that we're having. And I like soup anytime, so it don't have to be winter time for me to have soup, and I love getting a new recipe. So I'll have a picture of the card for you to know your ingredients, and if you'll keep them in your pantry, you can fix this in about 15 or 20 minutes. And it's a good meal. The good Lord bless and keep y'all, and I will be back in a day or two with something else good.